murder victim, actor Bob Crane, star of Hogan's Heroes. The case, an unsolved mystery, in our Inside Story for Monday, November 28th, 1988.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Tesh.
And I'm Mary Hart. 10 years ago, when he was slain, Bob Crane was a popular Hollywood television star. Today, his murder is still unsolved and is one of Hollywood's major mysteries. Entertainment Tonight's special correspondent, Pat O'Brien, has the inside story.
The person or persons who killed 49-year-old Bob Crane in the wee hours of June 29, 1978, walk freely. It was a particularly grisly crime, and police are no closer to solving the murder of one of America's most popular TV characters of the 1960s than they were 10 years ago.
I'm always surprised that the police can't figure out a bloody murder, you know? I mean, that's their job, isn't it?
This is a site, now condominiums, where Bob Crane was murdered at roughly 3 o'clock that morning. And what the police found inside the apartment not only shocked the show business world, but Bob Crane's fans as well. Whoever had it in for Crane, Scottsdale police think it had something to do with the vast array of video and photographic equipment, including a portable film lab found in his apartment.
Well, just say that Mr. Crane liked to collect pictures of himself in various sex acts or what have you with women.
Most of the women sexually captured for posterity were done so in Crane's apartment, but when police questioned his ex-wife, she was not surprised.
She mentioned that she was aware of his lifestyle when he was out of town, and that he had similar albums and tapes at his residence in California. So she was aware of his activities.
And the killer may have been aware of his activities as well. A personal erotic photo album was missing from the premises.
One theory is that somebody was mad because of Mr. Crane's activities with their woman and perhaps took it out on him.
Crane had been in Scottsdale for almost 3 weeks, appearing at a local dinner theater. His play had a few rough spots, and so Crane scheduled a rehearsal at his apartment with a fellow performer. His co-star, Victoria Berry, who discovered the body, says that Crane's provocative picture hobby was no big news.
Bob was very open about that. He'd show you pictures. He'd say, look at this. And I mean, it was so open. I mean, you couldn't even, you just took it like, oh, hi, how are you? That was the way Bob was.
Scottsdale police say that Crane was probably asleep when the killer crept in without warning, and that he never knew what hit him.
Whoever the murderer was had access to the apartment, either to a key or had been there earlier and maybe left one of the doors or windows unsecured and was able to gain entrance without alerting Mr. Crane.
A blood-spattered datebook showed that Crane was taking a friend to the airport the morning of the murder. That friend became a prime suspect when type B blood, Crane's blood type, was found on his rental car. The more than 1,000-page casebook reveals that hundreds of people were interviewed and disclosed that former Hogan's Heroes co-star and Family Feud host Richard Dawson had introduced the suspect to Crane. Police say they had their man, but the county disagrees. It says the cops never came up with the goods. No motive, no weapon, no killer, no charges were ever brought against the suspect.
Evidence wasn't seized and preserved for testing as it should have been. Some evidence was lost or destroyed.
Those who knew him still shake their heads and ask why. Why was Bob Crane murdered?
And that must be kind of sad for people who are close to him. I'm talking about family. I mean, I would think that it would be terrible, you know, for a wife or a son not to know what happened.
The case is still open. Police still looking for leads, but all sides agree it'll probably remain one of Hollywood's most brutal, unsolved murder mysteries. Pat O'Brien, Entertainment Tonight.
Thank you, Pat. And as he said, 10 years later, that murder case of actor Bob Crane does remain open. It's file 78-1243 of the Phoenix Police Department.